quite all right. What is up, everybody? Happy Saturday.
I wish you guys could hear our pre-open chat. I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. Like, just
yes.
It is a whole vibe.
Yes. Are we actually live, Texas Attitude? Yes, we're actually live.
We are actually live. Hold on. Let me refresh the old Rumble machine.
And good morning as well to you, Danny DeLito. Dude, you know what, Lady Desiree? I thought you were already following me. I'm kind of hurt right now.
Oh. I'm sorry. I thought I was too. I'm really sorry.
Oh, man. But good morning. You know, we're super excited to have Lady Desiree joining us today. We're going to be talking about all things music and I think socials and just how you kind of brought it all together into the, streaming space. Because if you guys have not gone and checked her out,
just so you know, it's just seeing a thumbnail. I don't know if we can hear. Can you hear us? But there's only a thumbnail in the video right now.
There's always a thumbnail. What? Come on, Rumble. No, I'm seeing it on my screen.
Well, maybe you're just cooler than the rest of us.
Right. Let's see.
No, I'm seeing the chat right now.
Okay.
I see chat.
I'm seeing us too.
Yeah, I see everybody.
I'm gonna shut this whole thing, the whole internet down on my computer. I just need to see chat anyway. If you guys are there, then we're perfect.
Yeah, he says he has a lot. He says y'all are just seeing a thumbnail even after refresh. What's up, Abyss? So Danny sees and hears us all. Is this like a game we're going to play right now? Can you see me? Can you hear me now? How about now? Are we getting trolled by chat?
I mean, 2 weeks ago we went live and we were trying to do a freaking giveaway and Rumble crashed hard.
Oh, yes, hard.
I know. I see chat. Oh, there we are. I see us.
Okay. And I don't know how all of a sudden I just got. Okay, there we go.
Danny's in chat. Texas Attitude's in chat. I didn't want to say this. Texas Attitude, I haven't seen you in like 3 months, brother. I hope all things are well. Good to see you. And if you've been in this chat and I've missed you, I apologize. I'm not the smartest, and I was not aware there'd be math today. So
math's kind of hard. But yes, the best we are live. But yeah, we are having the wonderful Lady Desiree joining us today to talk about her kind of streaming experience, what she kind of does, because she puts on a fantastic show. You guys, if you've never been in, her program and seen her play music and just interact with people, she does a fantastic job. And so welcome to the show, Lady Desiree. And for those that don't know, kind of give us a little bit of background about how you kind of got started in your creation journey.
Well, thank you, first of all, for that. All right. It's kind of a long story, but I can do a very short version. You want a short version?
You can do either or. We're here for at least.
We're on your timeline, Des.
Yeah, we're at least an hour. Just remember, an hour.
But if you go over an hour, then I expect a shipment of peanut butter granola bars.
Oh,
that sounds good.
Did I ever send you the recipe for that?
No. But it wouldn't matter because I don't have your honey either, so it wouldn't matter.
Oh, yeah. Well, I need to send you some of my honey for sure. The story of how I got started streaming. I really stumbled upon it. So I was actually playing the game Destiny by Bungie, and I fell in love. I was sitting in orbit, which for those of y'all that aren't familiar with that, that's like when you're kind of like waiting for the next thing to load up. Because you're out in space and they have these, different pieces that are playing. And there's one that was just so beautiful. I'm like, gosh, this is just so gorgeous. I want to play this on the piano. And so I went to the internet to see if I could find sheet music for it, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I thought, you know what, let me just listen to it, figure it out, and then I'll just post it on YouTube with the sheet music in case anyone else is looking for it. That was all my intent was not like, let me blow up, let me do this, nothing. That was just it. So I did, and somebody found it and posted it to the Destiny Reddit, and it did blow up there. And Marty O'Donnell, who was still with Bungie at the time, who is a very famous video game composer, tweeted it out and said how much he liked it. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And I had a lot of Destiny content creators that were messaging me and asking me to do some like outros or intros for them and do more Destiny pieces. And I had a clan that I was playing the game with at the time, and they said, hey, you know what, you should consider streaming the game Destiny. And I was like, what is streaming? Like, oh, where you play a video game, people watch you. I'm like, that is super weird. Why would I want to do that?
We are super weird, aren't we, Des?
Yes. And so I checked it out, and then I was like, actually this does look kind of fun. And, I'm a pretty extroverted person. I was more so then. I've become very misanthropic in my old ancient years. But at the time, I still loved humanity and liked to talk to them. And so I thought I'll go ahead and try out the streaming. And I did, and really loved it. And then they switched to, or Twitch opened it up to creative streamers. And so I transitioned over to a music stream and would kind of just still dabble in video game streams. So I really was rooted very, very strongly within the Destiny community, like so much so that Bungie invited me out for several events. I got to hear music before it was released, and
Ooh, humble brags.
That is
on
crazy.
Twitter the Trade
well,
this morning.
and this isn't trying to brag, but it is trying to set up. This is trying to set up the magnitude of what was to come. Okay, so I was very, very much in that Destiny community, and like performed at. We had conventions every year, and I would perform at the conventions, and so it'll be 3 years ago this summer. I tweeted out that I was going to go to another convention, and they had invited me to perform. And somebody went through my Twitter following to see who I was following on Twitter, saw that I was following an account, because back then you could see that. I guess you can't.
Yeah.
It's hidden now. They saw that I was following an account called Gues Against Groomers, which is a group that's against transitioning children.
This is good.
They've done a lot of good, and they saw that I was following them and said I must be transphobic, and you can't have someone who's unsafe perform at a convention. And it blew up, and basically I got ousted. And disowned from the Destiny community and Bungie. All my ties, community managers, they unfollowed me, and it fell apart. And that was really traumatic and very weird, because I wasn't even talking about the subject. It was just literally, they just, pulled that out of my follow, who I followed.
The thing that I've never understood about that, though, is, there's probably accounts that I've accidentally followed.
Oh,
You know what
I know.
Like, and I'm not saying you accidentally followed them. I'm just saying, like, for something as simple as following them, there's no interaction. It's not like you're on the front line, like championing, like, oh, these are my people. I mean, whether they are or not, I think that's not
I
even the
know.
point. But like, the fact that it can be that petty, and that there was never like a clarifying question, like, hey, what's up with this? Are you following them? And because I would have been like, yeah, I don't even know everyone that I follow, but there it is. Like, I don't know.
Well, it's kind of weird that it's morphed into that, right? For a long time, it was like if you did something that was just against, they considered to be taboo, then it was just everybody just piled on straight away. Like a lot of people didn't even ask to see what the real underlying issue is about stuff. They just pile on and kind of,
Oh yeah, they just came for the picture. I mean, it was at the height of the craziness. It really was. And they came. Well, the funny thing is,
we're not at the height right now. I just want to be clear. We're not at the
I
height.
actually don't think so. I think on this issue,
it's a joke.
Yeah.
It's a joke. We're not political. I'm just making.
Well,
funny
I mean, it is still crazy, but I definitely think.
Cancel Ray.
I don't want to. I y'all are not trying to stay away from politics too. I hope I'm not saying.
No.
You're free to talk about whatever you want to talk about here.
Well, it was just an odd experience because I had been vocal somewhat about COVID. That I had been on Twitter. I said, hey, I don't think these lockdowns are a good idea, and I think if you want to get the vaccine, you should, but you shouldn't make other people feel forced to. That was like the extent of my opinions. I'm also not very aggressive with the way I tweet, so it wasn't like I was like tweeting out like, oh, everybody should go to hell and F them and blah blah blah. It wasn't like that either.
Dude, if I saw that on your Twitter ever, I'd be like, who hacked Des's account? That would be like my first.
Listen, I've got my moment one day, but I felt like I was giving very just like, hey, peace, love, let's all get along kind of tweets, which was, again, it just kind of just showed how crazy it was. But yeah, I remember talking to the convention person. I'm like, listen, are you going to vet every single person who's a part of your convention and go through their following list? And if you don't agree with them, you're gonna push them out? I'm like, that's absurd. Like literally absurd. And I was like, and I follow all kinds of people that I don't even agree with. That doesn't mean that I that I agree. First of all, I don't agree with any take that anybody ever says all the time, including my husband. I cannot endorse everything that has come out of his mouth. I will never endorse a tweet that I follow. That is absurd. So anyway, the whole thing was so crazy, but it was really hurtful because it's like I had been in this community for a long time.
And you built a lot of it.
I had played piano for people. And the irony of it all is a year before I had gone into the bathroom and there was a guy in the bathroom. There was a trans person in the bathroom, and I literally had a little conversation with him. Like I didn't it's like the idea of somebody coming up and me playing piano and they're saying, I'd like to play a Zelda. And I'm like, hold up. Tell me all your political beliefs. and let me see if you're worthy of my song.
Yeah.
And if not, I'm gonna berate you and make you feel unsafe. It's just so
It's
crazy.
it's crazy that they do that. And I can understand why you fell in love with the music coming from Destiny, because I did too as well. I think it's some of the most beautifully written music in all of gaming, 100%. I mean, if you guys Whisper of the Worm level, all that stuff, it's phenomenal.
Destiny 1 original soundtrack, correct me if I'm wrong, scored by Paul McCartney.
Well, Paul McCartney did he collaborated with a song, like an actual song with words on one of them. I don't think that he had his hand in the bulk of the instrumental.
I thought he was over the chunk. Okay. That's
he worked. Yeah, he worked with them, but he might have been involved with some of the instrumental, but I don't think it was that much. But still, but I mean, Marty O'Donnell and Mike Salvatore were and C. Paul and Sky Lou, and like they had an amazing team. And by the way, those guys have always been nothing but kind to me. Like the whole audio team, I never had any issues, and I still actually do keep in touch with several of them. So, but also I've never wanted to put them in a position to where like, I'm like, hey, go like fight for me or whatever. This is ridiculous. I don't want to put them in a weird place. So I haven't pushed that, but it made it weird. I was like, this has been my community for so long. And now I feel like, that the biggest Destiny streamers. And, one thing I've always been good to do is not drop names because I don't really want to get on that level. But like I could drop the names and like imagine all the big Destiny streamers. I knew many of them. I'd gone to some of their houses. They knew I wasn't this way. And they didn't back me up. I got backed up by like one person who was a mid streamer, Angry Iceberg, who I will like love forever for this. He put out a really nice tweet being like, what are y'all community? What are you doing? Like, this is not Desiree. But, again, it was just at a time where it was so tribal and everyone was so into making sure they were virtue signaling the right thing to do.
Cancel culture was like the thing of the day. Like it was like new and young, and like everyone was like, we must cancel everyone that we disagree with. And like, remember that meme with like the guy with like the broom? He's like, what do we want to do? And they're like, cancel everyone. And they're like, and when do we want it? And there's like a million of them. They're like, no. Like it's just like was the craziest time for all that. It's like, there's certain things like I'm pretty laid down the middle, right? And politically, I'm at least publicly politically agnostic, if that makes sense. Like I've got my opinions on things. I don't really know that it's my platform. Like you're never going to see me go live and do like De Niro and be like, I've got 10 seconds. So let me just say to everybody, F Trump. Like, what are you doing? Get off the freaking stage. Like no one cares. Yeah. Like no one that's watching the show actually cares. I'm sure all your Hollywood people care because they got a great response out of them. But like the point that I'm making is like, even with my political agnosticness in social media, like I've seen people do stuff that I'm like, I don't disagree they got canceled, but I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think it's stupid that they got canceled, but I can totally see where people are coming from. On this story, I don't get it at all. And believe it or not, Des, like after you and I met and you explained it all to me, which was hilarious the way that you and I met. Because like I knew you, but I didn't realize it. And like I'd been in your chat for like years and didn't realize that. That's so funny. But like beyond that, like I have poured through this and thought about it. And I do not understand how something as simple as that anyone could take that stance.
Yeah.
And so you said it's hive mind. It's just hive mind trying to.
Absolutely. It was hive mind. And so, it was just a weird experience for me because I'm not really, I'm not really one that makes enemies or like has confrontation. And it was weird because I kind of have felt like, I was one of the older people in the community. I felt like I was kind of sort of in that mom role, and I felt like I was pretty well liked. And so it was weird. It was like all of a sudden all my children are like turning on me for nothing. And so honestly, I almost quit streaming at that point.
I like the direction you're going in, but I think we need to channel this.
Sorry, I totally forgot to change it. I thought.
How about a
that's awesome.
Totally forgot about that alert.
That Tex got so excited about the RUM-Bot editions that he chose the longest alerts in the history of life.
Yes, I
Gaming on Rumble in the
apologize.
chat, though.
Dude,
Looks
I
like
know,
we
dropping-
are sitting in EP right now. Thank you so much, Gaming on Rumble, for the editor's pick. I know
Thank
that
you,
because
sir.
we're watching
Thank
the
you.
numbers pile in.
Yeah,
Del
I know.
Noran's here, Maggie Moose here, Helmet Fire's here, Abyss is here. I'm going through all of them. We love you all. Tex is very happy to see you. And Gaming on Rumble gets like some spins on the wheel at some point in time today.
Yeah, I know. Do you want overlays gaming on Rumble or
They
no?
probably don't care about what we give people.
You probably, well, I mean, they should.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen some of the overlays on Nerd or Die? They're pretty good.
They are pretty good. They are pretty good.
I think I saw that my mod Nighthawk Drew also subbed.
Ooh, look
Oh,
at you
very
go.
good, dude. Thank you so much for gaming on Rumble for dropping the 10 gifted. I appreciate that. And Nerd or Die's got some great like emote packages, overlays, and stuff. We're kind of hoping to kind of mimic that on the shop and the hub, but that's a whole other thing. So my question for you is, you went through all that stuff, and the Destiny community, because that's where I first got my teeth into doing streaming, was actually Destiny 1. And I'm pretty sure I probably know who you're talking about in terms of the biggest names, because we all follow the real big name people. But what did you kind of fall back on to kind of help you get through that rough time? Because as you're going through something like that, I'm sure it felt like, your whole entire world's basically not really collapsing in on you, but is really pushing down on you hardcore. What kind of tools did you use to kind of help you get through that?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, let me just say also what complicated this is I had just come out of a really, really lengthy and extremely expensive court endeavor with my ex. And for those of y'all that don't know how expensive court is, it's very, very, very expensive. I'm talking like I'm around $200,000 spent on all this over 10 years. And then it's not over. So, for someone to come after your income, like your job and your income, it was coming at a very devastating point too. And I didn't know, do I drop streaming? Like, I wasn't sure what to do. For what I did initially is I didn't respond really on Twitter. I kind of just like to get some time back. And I reached out to, one of my friends, Christian Henson, who had just gone through a big cancellation. He was the head of Spitfire Audio. Okay. And he got basically ousted because he retweeted JK Rowling. So that had just happened. And I spoke to him and he said, listen, he gave me some great advice. And he's like, just remember who you are. You're an artist. And he's like, you're going to have a lot of people that are going to want to really blow this up. And I was like, okay, I can really lean into this and I could probably get so much wave of support on the right. And I did have people wanting that worked for Blaze and wanted to put an article out there. And I really had to think back and think like, do I want to do this? Like, do I really want this kind of discord in my life? And I
do want to be this person.
Yeah. And I decided, and also I'll share something that's very personal, but I'll tell y'all too. I had a dream. My father passed away. He passed away about 6 months before all my Destiny stuff, before I made that video. I was extremely close to him. He was a concert pianist. I'd had a dream before this happened with the cancellation that he gave me this ring and it said, be creative and be kind. Okay. It said, be kind and creative. And it was so real. It was such a real dream. And I woke up thinking, I got to keep that in mind. Keep being creative and keep being kind. And when this happened, it was like I was struck by lightning. Like this dream was for this moment. Yeah. Like it was just so clear to me. And I just really felt like I'm not going to go into this and all guns a-blazing and push back. And the thing is like, I still have, I still care about even the people who run the convention. And I feel like they were put in I think that it blew up on their end and they couldn't contain it and they didn't know what to do and they were scared. And I really didn't want people necessarily coming after them either. And so I just decided I'm going to just lay low for a little while. And I wasn't sure if I was going to even continue streaming. And actually, it was, oh shoot, I'm totally blanking on his name right now. The guy that was with Call of Duty and he said, leave the kids alone. Nick Merckx.
Yes.
Yep. Nick Merckx. The Nick Merckx thing happened about like 2 months after or a month after everything happened. It was really soon after. And then I went to Twitter and I wrote a tweet about like, this is why it's important. Like this idea that you can't have a stance on children is, I don't know. I wrote a long tweet and it was still like it was a well, thought out tweet. It wasn't aggressive. And who stumbled upon it? Craig from Side Scrollers. That's how he found me. He found me through that tweet and he said, hey, you want to come on our show? And I said, well, I will, but I got to let you know, I just went through a major cancellation. I don't want to bring y'all any heat. And he's like, oh no, don't worry. You'll be
bring
perfect.
The freak on. Like Craig's like, you want to light this candle? Let's do it, dude.
Yeah. And so that's how that was where I first talked about the cancellation. And that was kind of my step forward to actually getting back into stuff. And I felt like I had just a couple of people behind me, but it was enough to feel like there's enough here to rebuild on a new platform. I'm like, I'm not going back to Twitch. All my friends were on Twitch. I'm like, I just don't even want to be there anymore. Yeah. So I went to
feel like everyone left you. You got hung out to dry.
They kind of did, right? I mean, it's weird how people kind of do that. Like they're your friends until something kind of a little bump comes in the road, and then all of a sudden, like they just totally turn on you, and you're like, where the heck did this come from?
Well, I mean, I think that's a hard thing about content creation anyway. And Des, I think we've talked about this a little bit IRL a couple times, but like, it's so difficult for content creators because you learn really quick that the people that like are friendly to you, like in real life, your IRL friends, your family, like they are not coming on this journey with you like at all. Like they're just not going to be there. There is a separation of church and state between like the real Des and Lady Desiree and the people that are like in your life and that like literally back you and love you in real life. They just could not care less about content. Like it just, and like, even though it's you, like you could, I mean, and Des like is very successful as a content creator and is like Kick front page featured and Rumble front page featured and has hundreds of thousands of people around her all the time. Like your numbers have to be amazing on the back end. And like, there's probably very few people in your real life that are consistently, if ever, in your chat. And it's like, it's not that they don't love you. This is just so divorced from like the version of you that they know. And I think it can be very like debilitating, and it can be a crutch, and it can be a hurdle for creators to feel like, well, my wife doesn't even watch, or like my kids aren't even going to be into this, or like my best friend's not even here unless I'm gaming with him. And then even then it's weird. Like, and then you start to grow, and the people that you've made like online relationships with, then they start to leave you because like, let's just be honest with you. Like if they're creators too, and you have success and they don't, there's like a jealousy that sits in, and it's like, I can't push you because then I'm not getting pushed. And like, I'm saying all that to say, if you are a content creator, you've got to be able to stand on your own 2 feet. And you've got to be able to know those that meet your vibe and are in your tribe and who are just not. There are leeches everywhere. There are people that are going to try to sow discord because they have nothing better to do than to try to get you to pity them and then to turn on other people and whatever. Stand on your own 2 feet, believe in your own content, and march forward. Sorry, that's my soapbox for the day, and I'm done. I just like it's one of those things, man.
No, and I think you're right about that, because I like my wife, she never watches any of my content. Like every once in a while, she'll sit down and actually watch this show. I'm like, you got to check it out. Tell me what you think. Oh yeah, it was okay. I'm like, what do you mean okay? I poured like my heart and soul to this thing. You know?
She was like, Fire Ray, and he's like, yeah, I know, but like outside of that, my son just for the first time in real life. So my son heard that Maggie Moo, and I'm not sure if Meg is still in chat. Meg was in chat. Maggie Moo and I did on the subject. We did a breakdown of Stranger Things season 5, and my son is like super into Stranger Things. When we drove up to Disney last week, it's like a 2.5 hour drive for us. He watched the whole podcast. And like he kept like pausing in the back. He was like, "That's a good point you made, but you're wrong because this is actually what's at." Like, and he was outside of that. Like, I mean, I've got IRL people, like some IRL people that will game with me semi consistently. Like, but like it's obviously it's not their priority. It shouldn't be. Like, it's me. So I had to learn how to be okay with like the first several 5 years that I was streaming, it was always with the same group of people, and we just happened to be live because like we were doing it, and like people, like some people would come in and be like, man, you guys are funny, your banter's great, yada yada yada. But then like as that falls off, you have to learn how to be a streamer by yourself. Like you have to learn how to just be able to like go load into a game by yourself and hold a conversational chat. And so it's a whole different thing, man. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because we did the whole thing with Jeff last week, right? Because I'm not going to name any names outright. That totally forgot that we were live last week with Jeff Dornack from Pickaxe.
I had to. I'm an idiot. The fact that any of you let me on any shows at all, it's just
no. It's great. Well, dude, I mean, here's the whole thing. It's like all of a sudden I had a realization that, oh crap, I don't have anything for just one of us and a guest, because I'm sure that there's going to be a time where I can't make it and you'll be able to.
Yeah.
because you can come in here and settle that stuff up and all that other fun stuff. But yeah, so it's just kind of crazy how that works. I mean, what kind of ultimately then was your deciding factor to switch from, not really wanting to kind of do it to kind of do it? Was it Greg himself when he reached out that you're like, maybe I should give this a chance?
Honestly, I just love it so much. Like, I really, really love playing music for people. I love it. And I didn't want to, I just wasn't ready to hang up the towel. And so, I mean, feeling like there was another, Kick had just been really kicking off, no pun intended. But, and so I felt like, well, there's another platform. Now also, here's a couple of, a community that, I was on their podcast. They seem to like me. Maybe I'll have enough to rebuild with. The hard thing about streaming so much, especially when you have another job too, is if you're doing it during daytime hours and it's taking away from another job, it has to be at least somewhat financially, advantageous,
It's
and
gotta
so
be worth it.
I teach piano lessons. And so, I know how much I can make per hour for teaching piano. When I first started streaming, I was streaming at night. I wasn't taking away. But as that grew on Twitch, I took away students from the afternoon, or they just, they quit or whatever. And then I would stream during the day. So I'd gotten to where I was streaming only in the daytime, not at night at all. And so I was like, gosh, what, do I take on more students now? Or like, do I give up on this? Because in my mind, I don't know, as an artist, it's really nice to teach, but it's really, really great to also have a creative outlet too. Like that's what you crave. You crave it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
And so like that's where I'm happiest is if I can have a combination of both. And so I mean, I guess it was several things is to answer, but I think probably and I know it's like sounds so artsy fartsy, but really the truth is that I just feel so compelled to do this. I really love it. I think that I'm, it's not that I'm so much good at playing the piano, but I feel like I'm good at making the connection of what's important about the song with my audience and being able to bond over that. And there's something just really, I don't know, it feels like it's like putting some kind of good into the world. And
but you
that's
really
what I
do a good job of
ultimately want.
connecting with people too. Because I remember like probably a month ago, like I hadn't been in your streams for a while, but like again, like we'd been together IRL, and so like I jumped into your chat, and you're like, "Oh, hey Ray," and like started playing Star Wars motif like instantly because she knows I'm a Star Wars nerd, and it's like that kind of connection that you have with people. I think is not normal. Like. You know what I mean? Like I'm seeing in chat right now, like there's some like normals. Like I'm joking with the keys that I can never say their name right. And Texas Attitude is in here, and all these people are in here, but like it's difficult for me to know. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
goodness.
Texas Attitude
Love.
with the 20 gifted. Thank you so much, Texas Attitude. I appreciate you, dude.
Dude, you guys are legends. But the point that I'm making is like it's difficult for me, even with a small community, to remember personal things about everybody. And it just stood out to me so much. Like I jumped in your chat and you were like, I mean, just like without even thinking, she's like playing Star Wars. And like that connection that you have with people, you cannot put that in a bottle and sell it.
Yeah.
You either have that or you don't,
Yep.
I don't know. All I know is I love it. So it's like part of it is I mean, I don't want to like I don't want to, what's the word? Honestly, it's a little selfish because I just love it.
Yeah.
Like part of it's like, okay, well, I know that other people enjoy it. I want to give back to the world and, kind of, because it feels like a form of music therapy, I think is sort of what my stream ends up being, is some kind of form of therapy. Because a lot of times, like, we're talking about like, okay, like resilience. Let's talk about, and I do a lot of talking in between. And, yesterday I was talking about Seneca, because I'm so stressed out right now, and I was like, I've just been listening to Seneca and Stoicism, and blah, blah, and then I make me relate to a song. So some of it is about that, but it's a selfish thing because I just really love doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel very, very fortunate that I'm living when I am, and that I can do this in this sort of way. It's kind of combining all my favorite things, and and anyway, and then so I was on Kick for a while, and then I started on Rumble, and I've loved Rumble so much. The people on Rumble are just I've met some amazing people on Kick, so that's not to say I have great people on Kick, and I have Kick has been really good to me too. But like the randos that come in from Rumble are far superior than the randos that come in from Kick. I don't know if it's just a different demographic, and so it's nice to have met so many new people on Rumble, and
Yeah, I kind of think it feels like the people that are part of the community on Rumble it just feels different in terms of how we interact with each other, how we support each other. There's not to say that there's not trolls on here because
there sure are.
I mean, Ray has a great, fantastic freaking Kool-Aid shirt. If you guys ever want to get one,
because I am a cult leader.
Yes, because he's a cult leader.
Actually, I wasn't even told that. That was said about me on a podcast on Rumble behind my back, and I was like, "Hey, you know what,
let's
friends?
talk about it.
We should probably do a show together." Freaking Black Fox in the chat. What's up, Fox?
What's up, Fox?
Well, I think the age demographic is just older on Rumble, which is good because I'm not I'm no spring chicken anymore, sadly. But I
look a day over 22.
Well, I'm much older than 22, and I like to say jokes that people from that grew up in the 90s will get, like that's part of how I speak and stuff. And so not to say I can't, relate still to some people that are in their early 20s, but it is nice to have the 30 plus crowd. And I feel like they're going to be more present and more mature on Rumble. So I think that's part of why I connect with them better. But
do you guys remember, hold on, I'm sorry to interject, Optimus Dan?
Yes, Optimus
His wife, what's her name? I can't think of her name. Yeah, Kitten Cog. So she was in my chat 2 nights ago with Dan. They raided. Thank you guys for the raid. And Kitten said the exact same thing that you're saying right now. She said there's just something special about Rumble and the fact that there's a bunch of 80s kids in here and we all understand the same jokes. I mean, Maggie Moo, her entire genre is my childhood. You know what I mean? And I there's just something so nostalgic about that. And again, having the ability to be a part of a community that understands you and nothing against I'm not trying to knock Twitch and Kick, but dude, I did not fit in there at all. Not at all. And that's probably a me problem. I'm not trying to say the platform is a problem, but it has been refreshing in the 6.5, 7 months that I've been here to be able to just connect that get you. You know what I mean? That's a cool thing about Rumble.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that. It's one of those things that being on Rumble just feels like a breath of fresh air. I mean, I'm still partnered on Twitch, even though I don't ever stream there. And that was such a wild experience because there was all these kind of people that would be coming and hanging out that became partnered. And then, extra people come in, the strangest, I think, conversations you'd ever get on any of those things. Sucks. Well, thank you, Beavis. I forgot this one too.
You said you got rid of it.
I thought I did.
Hold up, pre-show. We're gonna be in the deepest, most emotional part of the conversation today, and Beavis and Butthead are gonna be like, "This place sucks." Oh my god, he's like, Rumble is the best thing of all time, and I was suicidal and I was ready to take my life, and I had the pills in my hand, but the community came and saved me, and Butthead's like, "This place sucks."
Exactly.
Oh my god, dude.
Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that.
That's so good.
But yeah, so I mean, just what happened there on Twitch with everybody kind of coming around you, then trying to get something out of you, then getting what they could out of you, then leaving, kind of left me feeling well, what am I even really doing? So I mean, I took a little bit of a break from streaming, went over, checked out Odyssey for a little while, and then found Rumble. And it's just been, I've loved it here. I remember the very few streamers that were in the gaming section: Silver Fox, Lumpy,
Recon was here back then.
Yeah, exactly. Some of the original guys, including Galactic Gaming Dead.
Look, I'm learning my Rumble history. Are you so proud of me?
Yes, I am. And so it's been really cool to watch it kind of grow, but to see the community still kind of coalesce and kind of gel together. How have you felt that you've been treated on Rumble compared to Kick? And I mean, you don't have to say anything bad, but do you feel that Rumble is better than Kick in that aspect since the community seems to be more tight here?
Well, from the management standpoint, I feel I've gotten a lot of features on Rumble, but also Kick has featured me a lot too. So I felt I think that both platforms have gone out of their way to be supportive, which I'm extremely grateful for, because none of that should ever be expected when you go on. It's like a bonus when it happens and you're thrilled, but I definitely don't expect that. But yeah, I think that I think that it's, like I said, I think it's just been kind of a difference in the chat. As a female streamer, you kind of expect to get a lot of weird comments, and so it's definitely front page when I get front page on Kick. and a feature on like front page, whatever equivalent of Rumble, a feature, and you get the people that come in, pour in. It's just a difference of like, you just get some crazier comments on Kick. I mean, honestly, it really doesn't phase me at all anymore. Like I've been doing this for 10 years now, so it's like, you gotta learn, you get thick skin very quickly. It's just like ban, and that's it. It's like, there's literally nothing anybody could ever say in a chat that's gonna be like, oh my gosh, why'd they say that to me? I've been called everything at this point. I'm like, so not phased. So it's not a huge issue to me when that happens. I'm just like, okay, ban. And then, the good ones that come in, awesome, stay.
But have you felt like the negative Rumble effect of getting those features? I'll be honest with you, like I feel it sometimes. It's not like a humble brag, but like Vape was in my chat the other night. Like we had an EP the other night and we're just rolling with it and we're vibing with chat and we're doing the things. And then like, the minute that chat slows down, and I mean the minute that chat slows down, oh, you got 300 people in your chat right now, but it's not moving. I mean, let's see what bots you guys are. And it's just like, guys, like, calm down. Or like, again, like, super thankful to Rumble to like use my dumb face for radio in an advertisement that went up this week. Like, thank you, Rumble. You guys are the best. I'm way too ugly for that, but like, do what you do. And like, I'm getting DMs and like, there's comments in there that are like, oh, this is one of those guys that they push all the time and they never let me be seen. I don't understand that. Do you experience that too? Or are you just talented enough that people understand that you should be there?
Oh, no. I wouldn't say that. I think I just, I haven't really had too much of that in my chat. I'm sure that some of that stuff happens behind my back. I don't know. I don't know. You've been around longer and you're a little bit more,
I was only here like 2 weeks before you.
Oh, really?
You guys,
I remember like when Lumpy and Meggie brought you on to the music show that they do and being like, oh, dude, that's awesome. Des is here. Cause like I remembered you from Kick. Like I was one of the early Kick accounts too. I was there like when all those things were happening. And like, I knew of you from that, which is funny. Like when we met in real life, you're like, when we were like introducing ourselves at lunch and you're like, oh yeah, I do content. I'm like, what kind of content you do? And you're like, yeah, I like play piano. And I'm like, oh, dude, like, I was like, I've freaking been following you for years. That's crazy. But like, no, I got here in middle of June and then got in creator program in July.
Yeah.
Like I made the program in like a week and then started in July.
You just seem you seem more connected to the community. Like more people than I do. I still don't really know who everybody is. I'm still kind of, obviously there's a lot of people to know, but like and honestly,
she wasn't even following me either. I'm just throwing that out there, but go ahead. But she's on my show.
I'm sorry. I really thought I was following you.
That's fine.
Also, I know this sounds like an excuse, but I am really, really busy. So I don't really have a whole lot of time to watch streams. And so, it's usually if I'm watching something that's for such a short little like snippet, either right before I get on or right after I get off or whatever. And so, I don't put a whole lot of time into, like connecting with others that I used to, because that's one thing that I have learned over the years is that maybe it's because I've been burned before too. And so maybe it's like, maybe there's a defense mechanism that's part of that. I don't know, but it just felt like I used to spend so much more time being in people's chats and getting to know other streamers and all that sort of stuff. And, get to know them, you get raided, I raid you, all that kind of stuff. And I don't have the time and I don't really have the energy for it anymore. Not that I don't want to spend some time in people's chats, but I don't really do a whole lot of networking. So even if anybody was complaining about that, like if it was outside my stream, I don't even think I'd know about it. But I haven't had too much of that. But I mean, I don't know. Probably. Also, it's like I've like developed blinders in my chat. I swear. Sometimes I'll see stuff and I'm like, and I don't even see the obnoxious stuff. It's like my eye just kind of go up to like the nice comment and I like don't even see that. It's kind of great. I don't know. But people say things all the time and it doesn't even register. I'll just read it as something negative and then like I forget 5 seconds. Like they're banned and 5 seconds later I forget that the comment even happened.
Do you self-mod or do you have mods?
Actually on Rumble, I have been self-modding because I haven't really had the need for there hasn't been too many times where I've had to do anything. On Kick, I have my mods, and my mods are in my Rumble chat too, and like they're there, if I need them. But like as far as like having to press the button to do anything, I've just done it myself.
Gotcha. That's why I asked that, because it's something like for me, I'm always on the like I self mod, but like I really don't need like a mod. A mod for me wouldn't be as much about banning like bots and trolls. It'd be more about like just trying to keep the chat going for me.
Yeah.
And like it's one of those things. I think it's like one of the next things I got to figure out, like if that's something that I want to do or if I don't want to do. And I don't know. It's just I get intrigued by how people do it because.
Yeah, that's an interesting subject. And that's something that I've kind of changed a little bit some over the years. I mean, I've got some of my mods in chat right now. So they're joking that I ignore them too. Six Strings.
I put that together.
Six Strings, Danny, Drew, and Abyss. But like they're really helpful on my end too, because I need to get stuff on my song list. And so they're great at inputting and getting that stuff. And they're super helpful to me. I did have a huge falling out with a mod years ago, and that was a really weird experience. My mod I understand. And that has always.
I'm just saying to Dez's mods, if you need someone that won't ignore you, I'm just.
You're gonna poach my mods. No, I don't mind. And it's a tricky thing because it's like they're giving their time and they're not getting paid. They're just doing it out of the kindness of their hearts too. So it's like, with. If you ever do have any like any grievances, you have to be so careful about that too, because it's like, well, they're doing all this stuff for free. So, you know what I mean? So, and so like in this case where I had this thing blow up a couple of years ago, that did kind of make me feel like a little bit like maybe I need to be a little cautious, moving forward. And so I don't actually add on a lot of mods. Like most of the 99.9% of my mods have been there for like the last like 8-7 years. So,
and again, I'm not that picky, guys. I'll take anybody. So like, I mean, you want to burn my stream down? Let's go.
I was going to say, dude, I asked to be modded in your stream and you like ignored me. So he hasn't even, I can't even get modded in his stream.
You didn't hear what I said when we were live. I said, I got to remember how to do that.
Yeah, well, that's right. I wasn't trying to put you on blast. Anyway.
Oh, man.
Well, that's cool. So how do you find that doing music rather than gaming is more beneficial to you? Do you enjoy doing that more than the gaming side?
I did love the gaming. I had fun doing it, but yeah, I enjoy the music more. I just feel like it's just, it's just what I've done my whole life. So I feel like it, yeah.
I have to know because I can't remember if you told me this in chat or not when I've been there in your stream. Why is it that you don't do classical?
Honestly, it's very difficult to keep classical music ready to perform. People don't really kind of understand how that works. I mean, when you're getting to certain levels, like your fingers are having to literally memorize the correct distance to go, and you have to keep it up. Like even my father, who was a concert pianist, Gershwin was his specialty. He still had to practice before every performance, and he did that his entire life, And so I honestly don't want that pressure. It was, I did all the classical stuff in college, and it also takes a long time to learn a classical piece. Like, I mean, a rather difficult classical piece, months, and I just don't have the time and effort to put into it. And I don't really enjoy playing. If I want to hear a classical piece, I'll just pull up and listen to it. I don't really need to play it. For me, the part that I love doing is every time I'm playing something on my stream, I am arranging it as I play. So I'm not looking at an arrangement when I'm looking at music and playing exactly what's on there.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the melody chords. I'm coming up with my own doodles. And to me, that's the creative outlet that I enjoy. In classical music, you're not doing that. You're playing exactly as is. And
you
I mean,
can't really noodle on Beethoven.
Right. And it feels wrong, honestly. And maybe that's my own hang up, but I don't really it feels like weird to take a classical piece and and now I'm going to play it, in my own little style. I don't really want to do it. And yeah, I don't have the time, and I don't have the time to put into it. There are some pianists, I don't feel like I'm this outstanding pianist. I know outstanding pianists. I went to a really, really good school of music. And so I'm very well aware that I'm better than your average person at the piano, but there are people who are way, 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 way better than I am. And
there's always a bigger fish, Des, but you're a pretty big fish, dude.
Yep.
Well, it doesn't, thank you. I appreciate it. But I made peace with that long ago. long ago. Like I don't need to be the best in
Oh,
order
this
to
is a good
feel,
topic. Oh, this is a good
really
topic.
accomplished. Yeah, you want to be your own best version. We're not
Mhm.
all out there to like go be extremely famous or whatever. That might not be our path. I don't care.
Yep.
Like I just want to be my
Yeah.
best version.
Yep.
And to me, my best version and what I can offer the world the best is to kind of have my stream step in my way. If classical music was my thing and that was where I really, really excelled and kept at it and I could keep the repertoire, that's what I would do. But I much prefer having a song list over 1,000 songs and being able to play a variety of stuff and do it my own way. So that's why.
Yeah, and there's also, for those of you guys that do not know, she'll put on a song and she'll just play along with it too as well. Kind of like do her own fills and her own rendition of like a good piano accompaniment to the songs and stuff. So I mean her streaming stuff is fantastic. And I mean I wish I could play like piano. I mean I play guitar, as you can tell, because I've got my children hanging. We're like one away from hitting 1600 or something like that. I don't know. We're very close. But yeah, exactly. So Danny DeLito says her renditions of pieces are uniquely hers. Exactly. And she does that when you go and hang out in the stream and you sub and you support her and stuff like that. She gets back and talks and which is really phenomenal. So I would encourage you guys, down below all the links to, well, at least 2 links to where she's at. I don't have her kick or anything, but you can throw a follow on X. Make sure you guys go and throw her a follow on Rumble. And if there is anybody else out there, Lady Desiree, that wants to kind of get into the whole musical side of things in streaming, what are some of the tools that you would suggest they use to be able to kind of accomplish that?
Well, there's different like sheet music sites that you can like if you need. When I first started, I was terrified as to how I was going to fill up an hour's worth of a stream because I knew some video game music, but I didn't know a whole lot. But there's a website called VG Lead Sheets. So VG for video game, VG Lead Sheets is free, and they have so much music on there, so many video game things. They are lead sheets, which means it's just a melody and the chords. So you want to learn, if you don't know how to read from lead sheets, but you've got a good like piano background, you can pick that up without too much difficulty. And then it's really just about doing it. Like you just have to do it. The more you do it, the less, nervous you get and you just get better. I mean, I'm infinitely better at it now than I was when I first started. I used to get nervous. I don't ever get nervous anymore. And, you just learn to take risk and you don't sweat it if you hit a wrong note. I mean, I usually like will laugh usually I just cover it up and you can't tell, but sometimes I play a note that's maybe sometimes I play a note that's just like totally wrong. And like, I will I will comment on it afterwards. You'll see it on my face, but I laugh it off. I'm not stressed out. I'm not like, oh my gosh, I hit a wrong note. My life is over. You're only going to grow.
Yeah, she's only like reading chat, like changing the page with one hand, fixing her mic with one hand, playing the lead with the other hand. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot while you're live.
Now, because you do, the cool thing about all the stuff nowadays, of course, is if you have like an iPad or something that got a foot pedal, you can do like a virtual page flip, which I think it's kind of cool to kind of see how they do all that.
She uses paper, right? Like you got a notebook.
I've got several binders of music, some books of music, and I have a tablet that I use also. So I've got a couple of things. But I mean, I know people have suggested the foot thing, but I mean, I use my feet already or my foot for the pedal of the piano. And honestly, it's not too hard. I'm used to turning pages and stuff. But somebody asked how I have it set up. That was probably one of the hardest things getting started was just the technical end, and still is probably one of my most frustrating things about streaming. If a problem comes up, but I have mics on my piano. I have mic here. They go into my Yamaha mixer, external mixer, and the mixer goes into the computer. And so that's my setup right now. It's a Yamaha MG.
We had a super fun conversation about this in the Rumble House you and I did. Like we talked for like 45 minutes about routing. It was great.
Yeah.
I live for those conversations.
And I still haven't tried out. Yeah. And I still want to try out getting my stuff and running it through Pro Tools and doing some things through Pro Tools.
Good doll.
I'm worried about it just causing too much stress on my computer. I mean, I think what I have right now is pretty good. I know I could get my sound better.
It's excellent.
Thanks.
Yeah. I've always enjoyed going in and hanging out, even if I don't say hi in chat. I enjoy good background music and stuff like that when I work. For me, in my regular job, which can be very stressful, music is fantastic. I absolutely love it. So I'm glad that someone like you is there during the afternoon, mornings and such like that to be able to kind of help give me a break.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things that we need more musicians here actually on Rumble.
Mhm.
Now, do you ever worry about like licensing or anything like that with your performances and stuff? I know it's kind of like one of those things that I keep trying to tell people is that be careful about copyrighted music on any platform that you kind of stream on.
Yeah. That's always been such a gray area for the musicians. It's always so hard. The only time I get a little concerned is when I'm playing over tracks.
Yeah.
But I haven't run up against any issues yet. If I'm adding enough of my own stuff to it for like live streaming doesn't seem to be
Yeah.
a big thing. Like if I were putting it up on YouTube, sometimes I could get some flagged for that and like not have it monetized. But
Yeah, because it's too close.
yeah. And sometimes I've had my own piano arrangements where I'm just playing my piano solo and they've flagged it for someone else's arrangement. I'm like,
That's weird.
I
Yeah, but the
literally
thing
was
is-
making
Yeah,
this up on the
that
spot,
drives
but
me
okay.
crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
That
like,
drives me crazy.
I've got a lot of experience in this from like broadcasts and stuff that we've done in the past. So like the way that YouTube, their algorithm, Facebook, all of it. So they actually, the software that is checking you is not listening to you. It's scanning your waveform.
Yeah.
Your waveform gets too close to the waveform of anything that's in their library, it flags it no matter what. Even if it's something that you have the rights to. So like in YouTube, if they demonetize, like YouTube will let you keep going, but they'll demonetize you. You can literally submit like, hey, I have the rights to this or whatever. And like legitimately as musicians, we do have the right to live broadcast and perform our performances of other people's music because like it's a cover, it's our interpretation. We do
Yeah.
have fair use on that. What you
Yeah.
don't have fair use to do is to broadcast and monetize someone else's work directly. So it's looking for that waveform, and as soon as it matches, it takes you down. On YouTube, it doesn't take your live down, it just demonetizes you until you fight it, and then your monetization can come back. On Facebook, though, you're just done. Like
Oh yeah, I've tried Facebook.
Yeah.
I tried Facebook like once years ago, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. Again.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's such a hot dumpster fire over on YouTube. I mean, you could fart while you're streaming. I'm not saying I do that.
Yeah.
Not saying that, but you do that, you can get copyrighted for a fart noise in your stream. I've seen
Well, I
it.
mean,
my
like,
I've
God.
seen it.
you literally,
Yes.
so like if you're a teacher
Ridiculous.
or like a pastor or a public speaker or whatever you want to call it, you have fair use guidelines that let you reference things in your lesson, your sermon, your whatever. Like if I was preaching a message right now, I could show a movie clip that reinforces my message. But if I go past 30 seconds of a movie clip, then fair use gets really gray because even though I've got the ability to do it, the robot's going to take me down. That's the thing that sucks. So it's like, it's not that I'm doing anything wrong. It's that the restrictions are so tough. You got to really like work around it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm making sure that I change the raid thing here because I totally forgot.
And before we go, because I know you have a heart out, I do want to re-hit on a topic that you brought up a minute ago, and I said that it was a good topic. This concept of where you said that you're very honest with yourself about like who you are as a pianist, who you are as a content creator, that you're confident in your own skin. I mean, we just know this. Like content creators, there's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of imposter syndrome. There's a lot of, oh my God, I can't believe that Texas stream has 20 more viewers than I do right now. And like, am I not better than Texas? You know how that stuff goes.
Yeah.
Talk about how you center yourself in a way that you can allow yourself to be confident in your skin. Because I am a firm believer that you should understand who you are so that you can set realistic expectations for yourself. I mean, like if I'm comparison is poison. If I'm comparing
100%.
myself to Doc and Ninja and Nick and Timmy and all these guys, if I'm comparing myself to Dez, I'm going to be disappointed all the time. There's a power in understanding where you are and also understanding where you want to go.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, I don't really have to end like right now either, so we can keep going a little longer if y'all want to.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, conversation's good. Yeah, I think that
In case it sucks.
Yeah, is that what it was? It was like I've only got an hour in case this
We're-
whole thing sucks and I don't want to be here. I only got an hour.
no, maybe, but so I think that a lot of times people go into entertainment for the wrong reasons. A lot of times because this is entertainment. This is the entertainment industry.
Yep.
They're going in because they need validation. And I think the entertainment industry attracts a lot of narcissistic people that need this feed. And that's why I think that the entertainment industry sucks, honestly, because it's full of a lot of really crappy people. And unfortunately, that streaming has kind of fallen under that. You know, when Rumble is a great place. Now streamers are great, but you know, I was on Twitch the very beginning, and I watched Twitch grow, and those problems, the more people that come, that's where the problems get worse and worse. So I fully expect Rumble to kind of go through the same
as
thing.
it grows. 100%.
Yeah, it's going to attract more and more of those people, and they're a lot of toxic people, and it's hard to be around them. And I think it can make you feel really insecure. Anyway, sorry. Let me get back to. I'm kind of going off on tangent here.
No, it's great. I love this conversation.
Yeah, I think like I just think it's going to be like a problem with a lot of the personalities, but also just as humans, I think we really want validation too. We want to feel like, oh, are we doing a good job? And people see it and whatever. And like, there's always like metrics that give this like this sense of, am I doing a good job or not? And that are constantly staring you in the face. And so you have to, I think you really need to kind of just define your purpose, your why. And I think that I do think you need to be realistic. I don't think you need to quit your day job. I think people do that way too.
Oh, you're preaching my sermon right now.
Oh, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And know that like, you know, streaming should be fun, but like if you're going to, sometimes it is work, you know, like anything, and there's always going to have that aspect, but it's just a combination of a lot of things. But I think really just kind of being very sure of yourself. And how do you become sure of yourself? Like, I mean, that's a big question. There's all kinds of self-help books, you know, devoted to that. Honestly, I've kind of been this way most of my life. Like, I've just kind of haven't really cared too much about outside noise for the bulk of my life. And I was really insecure. And I remember somewhere in my sophomore or junior year of high school where I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm just not going to do this anymore. And I literally just like made a choice. Like, you know what? I'm going to just start like acting like, yeah, I am pretty cool. Not cool, but like I'm an awesome person. And all of a sudden I just started feeling that way. And, you know, and I just cared less about all that sort of stuff. And so I think like you just have to make the decision.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds like super simple. And I don't know. I get that. I just think that for whatever reason, this is not a huge challenge of mine. But that's not to say that I haven't had moments where I have been like, oh, my numbers are down, or oh gosh, like this is like I definitely do. I think the difference is like that's a normal thing, but being stuck and ruminating over that's where it is really unproductive. And so it's like, okay, you're feeling this moment. Is there anything you can do about it? Can you control the situation at all? Can you do anything?
Yeah.
Okay, do it. If you can't, well then let it go. Okay, is it bringing you joy? Is it like taking away from other things you need to do? Like there's just so many things to consider there. But it's tricky because streaming is not something like, okay, do this and you'll get this amount of reward for it afterwards. You know, it's so up and down. And sometimes I think I put so much energy into a stream. And I feel like a particular stream was good. And like, you know, I might've made nothing that day. And then another time I get super lucky and like make a ton. I'm like, oh, I didn't really, you know, and so you just have to look at it that way. It's a balance, you know?
Rumble's a great humbler too. Because the EP will lie to you. Like legitimately, like I think I had like a 65,000 or 68,000 view stream like this weekend. And then the next day I streamed again and it was like 105. It's like, I mean, it's all over the place depending on, you know, what it is in the community you're building and all those sorts of things. I think for me, like if I were to give advice to streamers and people that are watching the show, developing the ability to be like a third party about your own content, like to be able to produce yourself honestly, to like be non-biased is so important. Because like for me, those like if I get off a stream and I can pull 5 or 8 or 10 clips and like I know that things I talked about are what I want it to be and I know the content landed and I know the and I'm proud of what I'm doing. Like I'm super proud of the show. Like I feel great about the conversations that we're having. I might suck at Call of Duty later today when I'm live, but like if I'm proud of some funny things, like if I love the content, I'm good with it. Like if it's 50 viewers and I really loved what I did, like I feel great. It's like, man, it sucks that the viewers weren't there, but like, okay, I'll try again next time. Like, I'll get the viewers. But so many of us, like, the natural reaction is to be like, I'm the best and everything that I do is great and no one is ever as good as I am. So why is it that this person's getting featured and I'm not getting, and like we go through all these mental gymnastics, and like if you would just focus on your own content and loving what you do. We talked about it this week on my Twitter. Like, look, if you're a streamer and you are like relying on your income from content creation to survive, and it's stressing you out and you hate it and it's making you hate everybody, and you're having all these negative conversations and you're in people's DMs like doing all kinds of crazy mess, like maybe you should for a time go get a job and stop stressing out about this side of streaming and love what you're doing again. Like, you got to love what you're doing. You got to be confident in yourself, and you got to, like, the numbers are there as a guide rail. If you're a streamer that gets featured all the time and then you go through a month of not being featured,
that's rough.
Okay, what is it that I'm doing that is not marketable to be shown to other people? Like, you have to be able to answer those questions.
Well, and I think I would also throw out there too that don't just focus on just streaming as being your kind of your revenue, if that makes sense. You have to branch out and learn how to do different things. Like, for example, like LadyDesiree, she does live music streams, but she also teaches others how to do music. So she has something else to rely on other than just her streaming. Now, if she would say someone like Ninja, who can do all kinds of crazy stuff, or like Doc, but even Doc, he's not just a streamer. He's an entertainer. He puts the time and effort in.
He owns like 4 businesses.
Exactly. He does his backgrounds. He does his whole get up with his, suit and everything else, and his branding. It's tough. Now, and I'm not going to name any names. There's a really great guy that I've become friends with that, he was a pro player and all that other kind of stuff, but he only did streaming. And so now he's he's in a very difficult spot trying to figure out what he's going to do now, because his source of income kind of dried up.
Yeah.
And so now he's put between a rock and a hard place. So whatever you guys do, just like Ray said, make sure you guys have something else that you can fall back on and that you guys can, make money at doing, just in case, and make, streaming at least a hobby, unless you all of a sudden become super, explosive and you like blow up and you're super huge. It's just, it's crazy to get into this whole mindset thinking that your life is going to stay the same every single day that it was yesterday. It's going to be the same today and so forth. Life does not work like that.
Yeah, but you got to figure out too, like, if you're going to rely on this as your sole income stream, right? Maybe you've done it for long enough that you think it can replace what your salary is. Are you factoring in taxes? Are you factoring in healthcare? Are you factoring in all these things that you have to do? And is it just a flash in the pan? I mean, like, now, some of these guys are like, oh, I used to make $30 million a month and now I'm only making $1 million. I can't do it. I mean, whatever, shut up. I don't care about, like, that's not what I'm talking about. But like, if you feel like you're right on the fringe of making $60,000, $70,000 a year, something that you think is, can help you support your family in a meaningful way, and you don't have any of the other things, but the other boxes checked, like, you're going to find yourself in trouble, it's tough.
Well, and people don't like to hear this, but like, maybe it's just not for you. Maybe you're just, it's entertainment is not for everybody. It's you really need to have a thick skin to do it. Yeah. And if you are a fragile person and that's okay. I'm not even like, fragile sounds like I'm putting a judgment on it, but if you are the more sensitive type and you have some anxiety, I would not recommend streaming. No, it's possible that you could learn how to cope and you could get stronger, but it takes a lot of work. And so I think, honestly, the people who can last longly, that is their strength. I'm like, not to be obnoxious, but I have a lot of other faults, but one of my strengths is I'm pretty self-assured, and so that's why I've been able to last for so long. That's why when people say stuff in chat, it doesn't bother me. That's if somebody else is getting featured, it's not bothering me. I don't have I can tune it all out, but that is a skill and it's something that can be developed, but you got to have a pretty high level to be able to do streaming. So, but
I think a big part of it too, like when you are like me and you're not a huge streamer, I'm not a big deal, and that's okay. I'm not worried about that. But like I want to be involved in the community. I want to meet people. I want to network. And so for me, when I see other people that are getting EPs and other people that are getting pushed, and it makes me so excited to see people I've connected with that are getting the window, or people that I'm connected. It makes me so happy to log into Rumble and to see Des window featured. And the first thing I do, I jump in that stream. I'm like, oh dude, I'm so glad to see you on that front page. It's so great. I want to see you guys win, because I do believe that Rumble is still young enough that there's no point of competing with each other yet. We're way better off like being on each other's team. And
Yeah.
a lot of us, like you said, there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of self-doubt, there's all these things. It means the world to people in the community for you to genuinely come in and be like, man, I'm just here to see you win. And like that's the mark that I want to make on the community. Like that's the mark that I want to make as a streamer. I think it's great on the nights that I have great successes, but it's also great for me to jump in on other people's shows and see them do well and to help them do those things. But you got to be real careful about who's genuine about that. Not because sometimes people do that stuff with ulterior motives, you know.
Yeah.
And then the DMs get real weird, and it's like you got to be careful, and you've got to be willing, like I said earlier in the stream, to stand on your own 2 feet and cut people off that are hurting you, not helping you. You know, and like you've got to not be afraid to make changes where change have to be made. I mean, I had a guy who was a best friend of mine for like 15 plus years, and the minute I started having some success in streaming, everything became about like him being left behind and why is this more important than us? Like turn your camera off and it's like, no, it's not what I'm doing. Like you just got to be willing to make that change.
Yep. I think that's important. You know, for each of us, we all have to kind of come to that conclusion and draw our own line in the sand. And I think that's very important. I mean, I lost a good friend that I was friends with for years over some stuff with that. And it just kind of like what he was doing, like in the community. And then, you know, it's so weird, like being even a little bit famous, for lack of a better term, because we're not. I mean, if you can go to Walmart and buy underwear without the paparazzi taking your picture, you're not famous, ladies in chat. I'm just throwing that out there. You know what I'm saying? That you really need to come to that point and realize that, you know, some people you do need to let go. It can be really hard. How does your family feel about, you know, you doing the streaming and the music and stuff? Like, are they big fans? Are they kind of like, well, you just like you're off your own little world? I mean, how do they kind of take it?
They think it's cool. I mean, my kids think it's cool. Occasionally, my daughter, occasionally all three of them will tune in. I don't have them like in chat or saying anything because I just don't want weirdos to come after them. But occasionally they'll tune in. They can usually hear me in the other room if they're home, and they'll hear the music, and sometimes they'll give me ideas of songs to play. But they're not like super fans or anything. It's like a very occasional thing. And usually I'm playing during the day when they're at school, so they're not even home. My husband works on cars. He has me up. He has it up in the background almost every time, but he's kind of like only half paying attention because he's doing stuff, which, you know, is sweet of him, but I don't like expect it or anything like that. And so he'll, you know, and obviously me being a girl, like, you know, you'll get some kind of weird comments ever so often. So sometimes we'll kind of laugh about them together. I'm like, you had some weird one today. I'm like, I know, you know, but he's not like weird or threatened by it. And I really try and make an effort to not be like one of those girls that is, you know, dressing a certain way or whatever to attract that attention. I don't hide the fact that I'm married. You know, if somebody asks me, I'm not gonna like lie about it. And I'm very well aware that if I wanted to play that game, I could play that game, which is always kind of a frustrating thing because so many, like, that's the thing that I probably see. You guys don't maybe, but like when I don't get jealous, but I do get annoyed by it. I'm like, I could play this game and I could be so huge, but I don't do it. And I know, and I don't do it because it would go against my integrity. And for a variety of reasons, I don't do it out of respect for my husband. I don't do it to embarrass my kids. You know, like, there's a lot of reasons to do it. I just don't do it for me too. But it is like, it does kind of like kill you just a little bit sometimes when you when you see these other girls getting especially if you know, like, oh, I know they're involved in a relationship and they're just like not saying anything to, you know, and it's like, and I try not to judge because, you know, every situation is different, but it is sometimes that's the thing that kind of, I have to fight that feeling. I don't get jealous, but I get annoyed. So it's a different kind of thing. So that's what I feel like I have to kind of deal with as a female streamer.
I think that it's so funny when I see all those guys out there, they find out like a girl they've been following or something is like married or, you know, has a boyfriend or something, like the amount of like hate and
like
stuff
there
like that.
was a chance
anyway. I know. It's like,
I mean, they'll instantly leave, and you know, I definitely know that I make far less because I put that stuff out there, but I just can't. I can't be somebody I'm not. That's just too much work for me. Like, if somebody asks me about what happened in my day or whatever, I want to be able to tell them the truth. Like, oh yeah, you know, it's my husband's birthday. Yesterday was my husband's birthday, so blah blah blah. Like I
Yeah.
feel like I just that's how I want to do it. Now I understand other people want to completely separate it, and again, like I don't want to. It's a struggle. I mean, you hear me struggling with it right now. Like I feel like I struggle with the like annoyed. I want to be judgmental, and like okay, it's not my stream,
Yeah.
So I'm like constantly having to like say that in my head, like. That's not an energy that I don't need to waste energy on that. Like that's really what it is. It's like we're all sometimes too concerned with other people's streams. Like it's a bad waste of energy.
Yeah.
Who like shut it out and focus on your own streams.
Again,
That's like
comparison's poison, man.
Yeah.
It's just poison. Like, do I think it's stupid that there are very financially successful content creators that are female creators that dress like, they dress. I'm trying to.
That's why I left Twitch.
They dress like whatever, and they go live and they get on camera and they pretend like they're moving their hands together on a controller, and there's an actual gamer that's controlling the game next to him, so that it looks like they're a good gamer, but they're also like OnlyFans on whatever. Like that stuff. It's so annoying, but also it's like, hey, whatever, you figured it out. Like, congrats to you. Like. That doesn't affect me at all. You know why? Because none of the horn dogs that are in that stream were ever coming to my stream in the first place. like those creeps weren't coming to watch me anyway. So it's like one of those things that comparison thing is just very dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now with your music and stuff like that, what is your favorite type to play? What's your favorite genre?
I really love everything. I mean, I really do enjoy Zelda music, Final Fantasy
Zelda's
music.
really good.
If we're talking video game music, Zelda, Final Fantasy is probably Mario are my favorite franchises. So I enjoy that a lot. But like I love things from the 90s because I mean I was born in the 80s, but like the 90s was kind of like my decade that I really remember because I was too young. So I love 90s music and if it makes me happy knowing when I'm playing a piece that somebody has requested, and so I have fallen in love with so many songs over the years that I never was exposed to. In fact, I've had a Zig in my chat, is his name, has been requesting Alice Cooper a lot lately. I never listened to Alice Cooper at all. I'm like, wow, these songs are really good. Like I actually really love them.
I was watching that in the car the other day.
Yeah, so it's funny. Like it's like I'm very fortunate because I feel like my stream is like I'm giving to my audience, but honestly, I'm getting back so much. Like I'm getting exposed to really cool pieces. I've got some like we have great discussions. It's a very good give and take. I'm fortunate. I've got a great group. So yeah, all kinds of stuff. Sorry, I come off on a tangent there.
No, that's quite all right. I know it's kind of weird because like I will do live guitar streams every once in a while, and it's funny because people will come in and be like, "You play guitar and sing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do." I mean, that's why I have it on my wall. It's not there just for eye candy, though. It is nice eye candy. I'm just throwing it out there.
Mine's there for eye candy.
Yeah, well, I do. I still haven't heard you play yet, Ray. I know you play too, right?
Dude. I was just telling Ja about that the other day, and I was like, Ja, I play guitar. We've had a whole conversation about this. And he was like, I didn't know you played. And I'm like, yes, you did. So yeah, dude, I'm down. I want to do a Rumble jam session.
I think we totally should do that. I mean, I was jealous that you guys did some jamming in the freaking Rumble house there in Florida with the side scroller stuff. I was like, man, I would have loved to have been there.
I didn't play any music there. That was just Des and Meg doing Des and Meg things.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it was good stuff. Well, if people want to find out more information about you, where should they look? When do you normally like to stream so we don't keep you all day?
Yeah, I mean, I've been multi-streaming to Kick and Rumble. And I'm on usually in the mornings. So I'm on Eastern time zone. So I usually start 9:30, 10 a.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So, just when you wake up, and there's not a lot of people on early in the morning. So turn on my stream and get some morning music. Sometimes I do afternoons as well. I don't stream on Tuesdays right now. My Tuesdays are full. Then occasionally I'll do like an afternoon stream or a weekend stream. Sometimes I do cooking streams too. I've been doing that for my Rumble Premium.
I saw that.
Streams.
I saw that.
Oh yes, that's right. I forgot you've been doing that.
I don't remember what you were making, but I remember you being in the kitchen.
Yeah. in the kitchen, just where women should be, right?
I didn't say
Hey,
that.
someone had to
You know
say
what,
it. Someone
Des?
had to say it.
Only one
Someone
of
had to
us
say
has
it.
made dinner for the other one, and it was not you making dinner for me. So I'm just saying.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Ray did make dinner for us at Side Scrollers, and it was very, very good. Yeah, he made some amazing
I was going to say,
barbecue stuff.
okay, I was going to
Very
say,
good.
is top ramen really considered a dinner?
No,
I mean,
dude. No, dude. I can go, dude, did you not see the picture of the steaks I grilled last night? They were
But see, that's
phenomenal.
very manly. Making like cooking out, like that's one of those things. It's like a
Mhm.
torture
Like
guy's
meat and
gonna do.
fire. Let's do it, dude. We
Yeah.
got this
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that too. That's fine. Top ramen, I don't know. I burn top ramen. It's kind of crazy. You only add water. I don't know. I'm doing something wrong. But we really do appreciate you coming on and hanging out with us today, Lady Desiree. Make sure you guys please, links down below. Make sure you guys go and throw her a follow on X, throw her a follow on Rumble. Kick's all right, but Rumble is where it's at. So make sure you guys do that. Ray, do you got any last minute words of wisdom you want to give here before
Not
we
really
head
words
out?
of wisdom, but I do say, Des, I'm so thankful that we got connected IRL. You are one of my
Yes.
favorite streamers, and more importantly, that like you are one of the best people I've ever got to meet. You just have such a sweet spirit, and like you're so good to people, and you can tell that like people are your priority over yourself, and I appreciate that about you. And I'm stoked that we're connected in some long distance form fashion, but excited to get to work with you again. And
Thank
excited
you, Ray.
that I was so stoked when Tex reminded me that I got the schedule wrong again, and it was you today. So
Yeah,
Well,
'cause-
thank you, and likewise, you're amazing too. I know I had such fun today. Love to come back on whenever y'all want to have me on. And
That's awesome.
It was a lot of fun. Thank
We'll do
you.
it.
Yes. And so, guys, don't forget with the hub, we've got something new. You guys can now integrate your Discord live alerts right there in the hub. So you can go there, tell people you're live. It'll post it in whatever channel you want. So, guys, make sure to check that out. And then next week, we got Megan Moo is going to be joining us for Tools of the Trade. And
don't
and
forget, Texas Attitude gets spins though.
that's right. Okay, you want to do your spins, Texas Attitude? Are you here right now? Because we definitely got to do it. Gaming on Rumble is silent, so I'm going to assume that they're not a streamer, so they don't get it. So if I either hear it or it shows up in chat in the live stream that you won, then you've won. What's up,
Casey.
Casey, good to see you. Casey in the house. Soundboard.
And that's
Lord.
funny that we saw it at the same time. Texas Attitude says, "Give them to Ray. He needs all the help he can." Wow.
Wow.
Man, I just built a new scene this week that I was proud of too, man. Texas Attitude's killing me. End the show.
All right, that's
End
it.
it.
You guys have a fantastic Saturday. We'll see you guys again next week. All right, be good. Bye, everybody.